Hi guys, today we are going to talk about deck building 101. Now that we're getting higher in rank, the competition is going to start getting more fierce. We need to have the perfect deck set up. That way we maximize the number of points we can win and minimize the number of points that are taken from us. So let's go ahead and start with the ratio. A good ratio of cards will have an even number of toons to an even number of items. Now, you should never go over 26. Having more than 26 cards is really just giving points to the other team. One, you're not going to be able to combo the combos you want as quickly as you would if you had less cards. It's really quite simple. Now, this is a deck of 26 cards. It's really the highest number you should have. I would recommend sticking with just the 25. You have 13 toons to 13 item cards. Now, this is fine if you don't have any power cards. You could also go 13 item cards to 12 toons. Now, the reason you would go with one extra item card versus one extra toon is because typically you're going to have item cards related to the BGE you're fighting in. So if you end up laying an item card out, you're at least going to get those bonuses for that item card while you're waiting for a toon to come out to combo. Now, if you have over 26 cards, what you're doing is you're making it that much harder to get the combos you want. Now, there are a lot of good toons out there. You could literally fill your deck with lots of toons and just go crazy. But when it comes down to it, only certain toons are going to be super effective for the battlefield that you're getting ready to fight on. I mean, you don't need to have a full deck of 35 cards? I mean, that would just be ridiculous. Now, if you do have that many cards, here is a problem you're going to run into round after round after round. One, you're going to have hands of toons. You're going to have hands of item cards. The chances of comboing is just going to drop. You really don't want that to happen. What you want is you want to find a really good ratio. Now, the 13-13 or 12-13 is fine if you don't have power cards. But if you have a power card, I would recommend a little something like this, 12-12-1. 12 toons, 12 item cards. It's a beautiful ratio, one power card. Now, there are different reasons why you would implement more power cards than item and toons. There are 3 different ratios people recommend. The 12-12-1, 12 toons, 12 items, 1 power card. The 11-11, the 11-11-3, which is actually my favorite. I'm a big fan of the 11-11-3. Players do say that you will run into hands of sometimes all toons, sometimes all item cards. They say the best way to avoid that is the 10-10-5. I've never actually ran the 10-10-5, so you could definitely try it. I've heard it does great. There are obviously other ones you could do. It's just a matter of having as close to the same number of toons to the same number of item cards. It's really not rocket science. So, now that we know the magic ratio is an even number of toons to an even number of item cards, let's talk about what toons, what item cards we should even consider. So, when it comes to building your deck, you're going to want to try to have a certain number of strong attackers and a certain number of supporting cards that are going to help your strong attackers. You could even have some defenders, but I've always considered my supporting cards to be a jack of all trades. You know, they're going to be good at defense. They're going to be good at boosting my character, my main item, my main strong cards up, you know? Like Leela. Leela is a great card to have because of her motivation. But you don't even... She's not the only card. For instance, if you're running a music deck, you could have these guys. They have great motivation, and they motivate anyone. So it's pretty genius to make sure you have good supporting cards. Good supports are items like cheer, motivation, cripple, shield, heal, and bodyguard. Those are some of the best supporting cards you could have to obviously help you support, support your main objective, your main goal, your main combos. Now, there's really not much more I could say to Deck Building 101. After that, you're really going to start getting more complicated. You're going to start having to use your F map. You're going to have to start looking at what the toons are actually capable of when they combo. You're going to find some toons are just amazing with comboing. Like Amy for armed, or even Roger. That's a pretty decent combo. Obviously Amy, Peggy. Peggy's got a good combo. Amy. Certain toons are going to just create great combos. So when you're building these smaller decks, you're going to want to choose the combos that are going to wipe out the competition. You don't even want your competition to have a card on the field. If you allow them to get a foothold, I guarantee you, you're going to lose points to them. You don't want that foothold. You want to break their legs. You want to cut them down. You want to end everything they could lay out before they even have a chance to lay it out. So this has been Deck Building 101. I hope you enjoyed.